Greetings. Today we're at the Fernald Preserve on a nice fall day. We're going to take a little hike. Alright, today's solo hike, we're going to do the Shingle Oak Trail. 0.7 miles, moderate with some hills. And on this trail we get a good overlook where the silos used to be. There were 4 silos on the Fernald property. I believe the first silo is right where this pond is right here. And that silo actually contained radioactive material that was used in the Manhattan Project, which was used to develop the atomic bomb that we dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. That stuff is stored here. Highly radioactive. This sign here tells you a little bit more about the silos. Actually, 3 of them contained material and 1 of them was empty. But again, the first one up here was the one that had the bad stuff from the Manhattan Project in it. And that was transported off-site. Completed in 2006. Alright, come to this fork. We're going to take a right here. And it says there's an overlook in this direction. You can see where the former silos were positioned. Alright, there it is. Here's where the first silo was. Second one right there. They went in this direction. All 4 of them. It's just crazy to think that something that radioactive and deadly that was used for such an important event in history, the material from it was actually stored here. Alright, this pipe right here is a groundwater monitoring well. You'll see these throughout the Fernald property. Just a testing point so they can get samples of the aquifer underneath the ground to see if they need to filter out more of the uranium plume that's currently in the Great Miami Aquifer, which is under this property. Alright, this sign says the Boneyard, Fernald Preserve. Let's go see what's down there. Well, I definitely see bones. Animals in the boneyard were found dead either on or near the site and offer us an opportunity to observe and smell decomposition in action. I guess they study the decomposition of the animals right here. There's a cage over here too. Nothing inside it. There's no bones inside the cage. Alright, well that's the boneyard. Glad there's no decaying corpses there. That would have been pretty gross to walk up on. One thing I didn't expect to encounter on this is mosquitoes. It's early October. It's pretty cool outside. I really haven't encountered any mosquitoes anywhere else recently, but I got bit a couple times here. The Fernald mosquitoes got me. Wish me luck, guys. Wish me luck. This plaque talks about the forest restoration. Thousands of saplings, shrubs, and seedlings were planted during the ecological restoration of the Fernald Preserve. So a lot of this stuff wasn't even here when the plant was in operation. So all this was brought in and planted. It's pretty impressive because it is its own ecosystem back here now, which is awesome considering what it once was. coming up on this plaque, which says the Sycamore Trail, and that's right here. I believe if you keep walking that way, that's the end of the Shingle Oak Trail, which we walked to get to this point. So now it looks like we're gonna do a little bit of off-roading. There is a lot of wildlife out here. Aside from the mosquitoes, you can hear a bunch of animals stirring around, scurrying in the tall grass. Danger, no swimming or wading, stay on boardwalk. Looks like there's a little flotation device in there and a rope. And they have a boardwalk that goes over this pond. I'm hesitant to walk over it due to all the mosquitoes, but what the heck, we're gonna do it anyway. All right, that's the boardwalk. Not too bad. The mosquitoes didn't get me, so that's good. All right, now we're back out of the woods and swampy area. We're back out on the beaten path. We're in the open too, so the sun's shining. Feels pretty good. It was actually kind of cold when we were in the woods back there. You'll see a lot of these blue sheds scattered throughout Fernald. Those are actually pump houses. So inside there's pumps that, when activated, will pump water out of the Great Miami Aquifer underneath this property. And that water gets pumped over to the water treatment facility, which is over in this direction. Right here behind me, they have a wildlife enclosure. You can see they got it blocked off there. Also, there's another one of those wells. So I stumbled upon this right here. To stay on trail, and there's these concrete domes here. I can't imagine these were left over from Fernald. They pretty much gutted this place and took everything out, but I'm not sure what these were used for. You can see right here, just adjacent to Fernald, is the Patty's Run Creek, which was contaminated during the Fernald production days. Water runoff containing uranium, radioactive, ran right down into this creek and affected the water supply. I was able to get a closer view of the Patty's Run Creek here, creek bed. It's obviously dried up right now. We haven't had much rainfall recently. All right, next to this well here, you can see the water treatment plant in the background. That's where all the water in the aquifer below us gets pumped to and filtered if the uranium levels get too high. And by too high, I believe it's 300 parts per billion. So when they get samples out of all these wells, if any of it's above that, it will get pumped over to the treatment plant, and then they filter it. Someone once described it as washing a shirt that has an ink stain on it over and over again, trying to get the stain out. And that's what they're doing here. Right here you can see a shipping container. These were used to haul all the radioactive material out of the silos. Looks like they used 3,776 containers that were emptied out of these silos. Looks like it's hollow. Obviously this wasn't one that was used. This was probably a leftover one that never got used. All right, well that was a nice hike. between the Shingle Oak and the Sycamore Trail. Did about 2.6 miles. Not too bad. Got to see a lot of interesting stuff along the way. The retention ponds where the silos were. The boardwalk. What else did we see? We saw the boneyard. It's pretty interesting as well. Thanks for joining me on this hike at Fernald Preserve. I'll see you in the next one.